Welcome back to another episode of Tides of Change. Each video takes a dozen hours to bring to life, so it would really help the channel if you could leave a like. And remember, members get early access to the next episode. Now then, back to the story. Welcome back, everyone, of the Tides of Change campaign. Welcome, everybody. Please say hi.
Hi.
Go watch Sonic 3.
Jing Kon, the leader of the Sonwu, is very impressed with the performance that you guys exhibited with the first game of the celebration of his son's birthday. So he stands up from his throne and he claps and he goes, ha, 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 ha. Well done, all of you. Well done, especially you, as he points towards Spira. He says, I have my eye on you after that one. How many was it? 12? 12 horses.
Yeah, protection ponies.
Yeah, the protection ponies. That was it. Yeah. See, his son's name was Hifa. Hifa also stands up and claps as well. He was also very entertained by the performance that the four of you gave. In the history of the Sonwu's sporting games, there has never been quite a match like that. The four of you have definitely left a great impression on them. Well done! You beat the youngsters! Now for the adults. We shall begin the next game after lunch! Woohoo! The whole crowd roars in celebration. You guys realize that the opponents you faced were mostly the teenagers.
Oh
That
no.
was the teenagers?
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh.
Before we go to lunch though, can we use our imbuement just to be sure that it's prepared?
Yes, you
Yes,
can. Yes, you
please.
can. Okay, give me
Okay.
a resolve and composure and resolve rolls from those of you who wish to imbue.
What does imbue mean?
It's a type of, it's their type of
Plus
magic.
one.
It's like placing
Plus
aura
two.
inside of clothing or weapons to strengthen them. So it's kind of like a passive buff. That's the magic that they've. Solaris, you struggle a little bit with trying to imbue it. You feel that maybe it might take a little bit more of a while for you to get it. Nyx, on the other hand, seems to not have any trouble, and they're right next to you when you guys are doing this as well. So
Oh no.
you can give some side eye towards the Kitsune.
Having trouble there?
So funny.
Nyx, you can give some advice, and if you do, I'll let Solaris have one more
No,
roll.
thank you. I'm not getting any advice from a kitsune.
Okay.
I did it on purpose.
Meanwhile, Hyannis
Oh, okay.
is sitting on Solaris's shoulder, kind of just like doing that monkey meme where they like look one way and then look the other, like really awkwardly.
And Spira is just looking at the plant, seeing if there is not something medicinal.
Give me a perception.
Perception is a skill, I think.
Yes, we change it to a skill.
I also rolled a nat 20.
You rolled a
so-
nat 20. Okay.
Oh my gosh. We're off
so-
to a good start.
So Spira, while everybody else is doing their imbuement and doing monkey memes,
Oh, I get it. Sorry, I didn't even realize.
you guys are enjoying the banquet, the Monkey King's banquet, and Spira is gathering up the ingredients from unusual dishes that have the potential to have medicinal benefits, which can be applied to alchemy later. So I will give you a buff towards creating some medicinal potions and or poisons, depending if you want to share your your prize from your perception with Solaris later. That said, there is a feast, please. What would you guys like to eat?
I'm gonna eat a piece
Juicy
of
meat.
bread.
Juicy meat, and for Hyansin,
I'm gonna eat a grape.
a grape, a whole grape,
A whole grape.
a whole grape. Spira, what would you be eating?
Spira's probably picking up some veggies, some meat, but a whole lot of exotic fruit that she has never seen before.
Sure, and Solaris. There are fish options as well.
Yeah, I think I will eat some fish and some veggies maybe.
Veggies and freshwater fish is a delicacy for your culture. So having the opportunity to enjoy abundance of freshwater fish is very nice. You know how rare it is to get.
Mm-hmm.
Delicious.
Everybody is chowing down. You see the Kitsune is tackling a giant steak. Spira has created the most amazing looking salad and fruit salad. Solaris is picking away at a ton of freshwater fish, and the stack of grapes is slowly being devoured one by Hyacinth.
It's just 2 grapes.
As you are enjoying your food, the Monkey King is also swigging back his chalice. You can see he has some very strong spirits and wine. He's getting a little bit drunk. His son, on the other hand, seems to be more restrained. As you may remember from before, Hifa he's still trying to build up his confidence. He felt confident when speaking to Hyacinth because of the size difference, but everyone else he's still a little bit nervous around.
He should be scared of me, especially after I knocked out that other guy.
Fair. You notice that he is a little more respectful in the way that he talks to you, and he's like, hi. That was amazing for someone so small to take on someone so big. Well done.
And Hyacinth puffs out her chest. Thank you.
I hope that maybe one day I can do the same.
Of course you can. You're like 3 times my height. You can do a lot better than I can.
You hear Ginkgo laugh. He goes, ha 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 ha. The little one is right. Hifa. But you do have to get stronger. I'm not going to be around forever, although I prefer that. As he takes another sip of his wine. The existential dread that fills the young prince is noticeable on his face as he's, horrified to hear his father speaking of his own demise. Hyacinth, you notice that like a small tear forms in the kid's eyes, but it's his birthday. Can you try and stop him from crying?
I'm gonna try to cheer him up. Do I need to roll?
Yeah, give me a charisma roll.
Oh, what's my charisma? 1.
Actually, no, add in your composure.
Or else I'll start crying with them.
Short people have a place in this world too.
I know. You don't have to listen to him.
Hifa, he's trying to be put on a brave face where he's like, yeah, no, he is my dad, so I probably should, but thank you.
Don't worry, your dad's gonna live a long time. I assure you. Look at him. Look how strong he is. Like he's got the vitality of a hippogriff. You know how hard those things are to kill?
Yeah, I do, but if I keep on teasing Zedai, my life expectancy might not be that great. You can see he's busy like twirling his staff as he's amusing, just saying like, I kind of wish she'd stayed around a bit more though. Where did she go anyway?
She had business to take care of.
Aha, I see. Always busy, that one. And I mean, she can live forever. I kind of envy you, Seraph. As he looks over at Arista, who is very politely just eating a very modest amount of food, and she nods and goes, well, yeah, our wings stop us from physically aging, but we're not physically immortal like the phoenix. They will die of age, but they are invulnerable to physical damage. Whereas the seraphs, we okay, I understand enough of the lecture. It's a party, not a lesson. And Arista's like, no worries, I understand. Like yeah. She just continues eating. Rox kind of just rolls his eyes and also just takes out a massive bite into a huge like a leg of pork, because I mean he is a dragon, so he has got one hell of an appetite. He's sitting next to Arista, by the way. He is very quiet. He doesn't spoken much, not even when you guys were spending your few weeks at the Central Tanithia Academy. Rox is a quiet guy, but he's very observant. You notice that he has not touched any of the alcohol at all. He wants to stay vigilant at all times.
Hyacinth's like, another straight edge. That's my kind of guy who don't like alcohol.
Nods a little bit, but you can see that he's devouring the steak with a ferocity that would put even the Kitsune here to shame.
I'm just looking on in shock.
It was a challenge.
Well, every now and then you notice that his teeth get a little bit sharper before he bites down, because the dragons can transform at will. So when it comes to tackling meat, it's easier to have all of his serrated teeth rather than his regular human teeth. Arista notices you guys staring at the way that Rox's teeth transform, and she's like, yeah, well, you see, the dragons, they can transform between their human forms and their primal forms at will. They're one of the few species that actually can shift between the boundaries. For most of us, the great change was permanent. It was a one-way direction. And yeah, there are not many primals left in this world, except for the dragons, because they're... And she looks over at Rox, and he just nods, you know, as if saying, I don't mind you talking about this. So she goes, okay, so anyway, once she got approval, she's all good to go. She's like, she's excited to tell you. She goes, okay, well, the dragons have something called an ancestral memory. where once they reach a certain age, all of the memories of their bloodline comes back to them. So Rox here can remember everything his parents remembered, everything their parents remembered, and everything their parents remembered. And this goes as far back as the Great Change itself. However, that was the one thing the dragons did suffer from during the Great Change, is they can't remember anything before that. Everything that's happened in their bloodline up to that point is passed down through the generations. But what one dragon knows differs between another dragon, because obviously not every dragon has the same parents. So the dragons had an unusual life cycle. They kind of are like cuckoo birds in the sense that they will find young parents or parents with young and swap out the children. So their young dragon hatchling will be transformed into the exact same copy as the, for all intents and purposes, nest that they are going to be staying in. So Rox here actually grew up in a Thrope village. For most of his life, he thought he was a Thrope until he became a teenager. And it's roughly around being a teenager is when a dragon's ancestral memories return, at which point he then remembered that he was in fact not a Thrope, but an actual dragon. She looks at him and he goes, yes, it was a bit of a shock. I kind of apologized to my parents who raised me, but thankfully they understood. They were mortified, but they understood that it wasn't my fault. Yeah, usually it's not wise for a dragon child to explain that their parents may have eaten the child of the family that raised them. So anyway, how's the food?
Hyanthus is just kind of looking down. It's like, oh my god.
I think I might need a little drink. You're not touching over there.
Yeah, the dragons, like I said, they're not very much liked by most of the species, but Rox here is great. He's been taking care of us. He just goes, He's like, and for the record, I don't plan on having children. He says as he looks at as he just tries to reassure you guys, I don't plan on eating other people's children. He says, that is a bit of an antiquated system. I mean, some of the dragon bloodlines, they find a sense of nobility in upholding the old ways, but you know, after spending most of my life with the Thrope and the Seraphs, I've come to realize that dragons don't have to be stuck in the past. We can raise our own young now. And in fact, that's something I've been working on in my private side of things, is trying to communicate with the other dragons and explain to them that we don't have to be hated if we can prove that we're willing to change. However, we're a prideful species. Thousands of years of memories, thousands of years of opinions tends to form a bit of a rock in the mind. To change what has worked for so long, it might take my entire life to make the smallest of dents in the mindset of our ancestral bloodline. And
this can take a really big, really huge amount of time to change.
There was a guy who was going to help me with that, but when he looks at Arista, who flashes her eyes across at him, he decides to end the conversation there and just like takes a big drink of his sip of his drink. Is there anything anybody wants to do before the next game?
Can we replenish our magic?
Gee, that would take some rest, but I will say, since all of you guys got to have your favorite foods and you're relaxing, I will definitely say that you guys have lifted your spirits, because that wasn't just a pun. The magic of this world is very much based on the state of your soul. So having some soul food, okay, that one was a pun, is actually, it's very beneficial to your recovery of your magic. So engaging in positive experiences or experiences that will nurture your soul or make you feel better will help you recover your magic faster. So enjoying your favorite foods here has definitely helped restore a lot of your magic back. And I mean, you can't exploit this in the middle of combat where you're just like, I'm gonna have my favorite sweet now and now my magic comes out. It doesn't work like that. Just a heads up. But in a more soft magic type of system, the state of your soul determines your recovery. Yeah, you guys are not under attack, you're not under duress, you're not going through any trauma yet. So, yeah. Don't worry, that's later.
Oh no.
With the lunch feast out of the way, Ginkgo announces, ha ha ha! Everybody, we'll be getting the serious games now. Well then, as everyone has probably heard, our guests have done an exceptionally well performance against the youngsters, which means they qualify for the adults. I'm very curious to see, and I'm a little bit concerned about their teamwork. It's very strong, very strong. Those of you, don't underestimate them. So, in order to make things more interesting, we're gonna split them up.
Oh.
Yes, the next series of games are gonna be one-on-ones. Team guest over here will have to select one member per game. But choose wisely. Once a member plays, they can't play in the other games, and you won't know what they are until I tell you.
Oh no.
This is
Uh-oh.
BS.
You can see that there are about 3 or 4 other teams as well. Of 4, they've completed their games as well. So yeah, you guys basically will be doing it'll be one player versus one member of another team. Well then, the first game is... And he's looking at the 4 of you and he goes, haha, yes! He points towards Hyacinth. I know just the game. Now, I once had a fae friend from Queen's Rest. And they taught me a really fun game known as river surfing. Apparently it's quite popular with the Fae. We've adapted it for the Sonwu. But since we have a Fae with us tonight, let that be the first game. So you don't have to participate in the river surfing, Hyacinth, but you know what the game is, so you can kind of explain it to them.
She puts her hand out to the other, or she like goes in front of the rest of her teammates and like puts her hand out and is like, I got this.
Is everybody okay with Hyacinth doing the river surfing?
Yes.
I mean, you can volunteer or discuss, but there are 3 other games as well.
I don't even know what the game is, so if Yatsin is already familiar with it, then sure, go ahead.
If I remember correctly, river surfing is basically where you have to have like a little boat, but you also don't you have to move the waves to...
It's kind of like surfing, but it's down a river, and
Yeah.
the Fae would usually use leaves to surfboard. So for them, it was like a big surfing trick. For the Sonwu, they use their shape changing to make the leaves a bit bigger and allow them to ride on the waves as well, because their shape changing doesn't affect the weight of the object. So when they make leaves bigger, they're still the weight of a leaf, but it means they can stand on it and use it lightly. So they really enjoy riding down the river.
It's my destiny.
Okay then, little one. I'm going easy on you since I picked a Fae game for the Fae. And yeah, one of the adult Sonwu is eyeing Hyacinth up and down like, really? This is what I'm competing against? You know, he's like, really? Really? Okay. He grows the leaf to a huge size. Jing Kon says, all right, everybody, take your positions. So yeah, Hyacinth and the contestant are holding their leaves on each side of the river. And he says, at the base of this river is my private hot spring. The first one to enjoy the water wins. And that said, normally my hot spring's off limits, so this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance. It has great healing properties. It's good for the soul. You're not sure whether he's actually being serious or not about that, but you'll find out when you get there. But yes, you just got to race down the river, and when you spot the hot spring, you just got to jump into the hot spring and you win. Got it?
Hyacinth is gonna like raise her hand.
Yeah.
But what if I can't swim?
Well, you didn't have to volunteer.
Oh.
Go! Begin! He stamps his staff on the rocks, setting off basically the trigger for the race. I mean, you did volunteer.
Fair enough. She jumps off with her leaf.
Okay, first off, you are riding on the leaf. You notice immediately that the sheer size and weight of your opponent allows them to start to pull ahead as they lean forward, and the weird physics happening here on the super lightweight leaf is causing him to pull ahead. However, you've got the power of your wings, so give me a roll involving your strength, dexterity, and stamina, plus I will give you an acrobatics, but not your specialty in evasion.
Okay, so then acrobatics would be +2.
Your acrobatics is level 3, so you get +10, +1, +2, so +13 to your roll.
I got 25.
Oh boy, well then. To the absolute surprise of your contestant, this tiny little butterfly starts to zoom past between the, like, as you kick up off of a wave, you fly between his legs, like over his leaf, but between his legs, and land right in front of him. So yeah, you just zoom right past. He's got a roll. Woohoo! Okay. You start to pull ahead, but he's still close behind you. Give me another roll. Give me another plus 13. Holy!
Nice.
Okay, so yeah, you are definitely starting to pull ahead of him now. However, you notice that there is a huge number of Sonwu on the sides of the river. You see there are loads of Sonwu all cheering and everything. And in the far distance, you hear another smashing of Jing Kon's staff on a stone. And as soon as you hear that sound, everyone in the crowd smiles. They all start lifting up a variety of things. Some of them have pebbles, some of them have fruit, some of them have rotten fruit. They start throwing it at you and the contestants. Give me a dodge roll.
What?
No, this is definitely evasion.
Yes, you get a plus evasion stat. So push that up to 15. So you managed to dodge the absolute bombardment of fruit and food and stones and everything. However, the other contestant is not so lucky. A rotten banana hits him straight in the face, knocking his head back, and he howls in frustration like, yeah! As he leaps off of the leaf. He jumps forward, grabs a leaf off of the tree that he leaps off of, and he expands that one before landing on the water next to you and expands it. He leapfrogged from one leaf to another. He has managed to catch up to you. However, it is your turn. What do you want to do? Do you want to continue focusing on maneuvers, or do you want to try and compete with him?
No, I'm gonna keep maneuvering because they're still throwing things, right?
Yep. You also have your hallucination magic as an option as well. I mean, he's using his magic right now by changing leaves and surfboards.
That would take a lot of my focus, though, if I try to do hallucination and try to make it like seem like there are rocks in the way or something.
Or that the river is turning another way.
It's funny you should mention that, but I'll give that to you for free. It was going to be a perception check, but yes, there are rocks in the river coming up.
Oh, can I make it so like he thinks that there's somewhere else?
Yes, you can make it look. You can make some rocks appear invisible and some rocks appear visible if you want.
Yes.
Okay then, give me a spell roll. So that will be your composure plus resolve. So plus 6. Holy cow! Holy cow! This little fey is kind of dangerous.
It's always the tiny ones.
As you're going through the rock faces now, all of the rocks start shimmering. Some become visible, some become invisible, some double up, some seem to shrink in size, some get bigger than they are. It's all very, very confusing. However, you know which ones are which because you cast the spell. However, the poor contestant you're up against, his shin hits an invisible stone and he splashes into the water. You hear the entire crowd burst into laughter as one of the members from the audience actually throws another fruit at him. He again jumps up and grabs another leaf, and this time he snatches one of the fruits out from the midair and yeets it at you. Give me a dodge roll.
Got 26.
Okay, yeah, you dodge it perfectly. Actually, also give me a perception roll.
D20 plus 2. Oh my god! That's a nat 20.
Hidden amongst the tree tops, you see a blur flying amongst the tree tops. You, though, with your incredible perception, notice that it's Jing Kon himself out racing the two of you while running on the canopy top to get to the front of the finish line first because he wants to see how the race ends. All right, give me another acrobatics plus 13 to your roll. You're almost there.
That's okay.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm going to reveal this one for you.
Oh!
Because remember, his stats as well add on top of that. So even though he was quite far behind, plus his stats on top of this, he is right on your tail. However, a few dozen meters away, you can see just off of the river, there is a rock pool with bubbling steam coming out of it. And you can see that Jing Kon himself is already chilling in his hot spring. So, give me one more acrobatics roll as you make a leap from the river leaf to the thing. I'll give you an extra, give me plus 15 total because I'll just say you can control your flight with your wings because you're a master at that.
Okay. 28.
Oh! He just misses as you splash. You splash in a moment before he can make it. Holy! That was close. That was actually really, really close. Ha-ha! And the first win of the day goes to the fair! You, however, are in extremely warm water. However, you notice that it's actually incredibly soothing. In fact, you notice that your spirits are returning immensely quickly. Like, this is definitely a magic hot spring, and these spirits that are inside these waters are going to town on soothing your soul.
I'm still panicking because my wings are wet.
Jing Kon lifts you up with one hand and sort of sets you down on a little rock that's already jutting out, so you can lean as if you were in a normal hot spring, but this little rock is shaped that it's perfect that you can sit in there as well. He leans back and is just like, I love this place. Meanwhile, you just hear howling of laughter from the other Sonwu who are still standing by the river as they are just laughing at the guy who lost. He slipped, so he didn't land in the hot spring, but he landed on the rocks next to it. However, he continued to slide and splashed into the water itself. So you see bubbles coming up from underneath, and eventually he resurfaces, and he too just sort of starts to relax. This is his first time in the hot spring as well, where he's just like, oh.
So I may have lost, but I don't feel like I have.
Exactly. This is one of Jing Kon's favorite places. So enjoy it, Hyacinth, while you can. You will get all of your stamina and such back. I would say healing, but there's no such thing as like true healing except for the unicorn horn. So you basically feel all your aches and pains just wash away with the magical spirits in the water. Aha! Well done! Well done indeed! Team Guests has another win! And you can see the crowd sort of cheers as well, but it's not as energetic as they were earlier because they're just like, uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
The guest might win.
Let me tell you about the next game! So then, we have the Abyssal, the Kitsune, and the Centaur. Who's gonna pick? Who's gonna stand up? The very next game is... the pole climb! Jing Kon explains to you that the pole climb contest has a treasure that's placed on top of a pole in the middle of an arena. And the first Sonwu, or in this case, the first contestant to grab the treasure at the top of the pole wins. So they have to grab whatever the treasure is. So the king usually decides what the treasure is. So sometimes it's a crown, sometimes it's a ring, sometimes it's something that only makes sense to him. But whatever it is, you have to wear it as if it was properly worn. So if it was a crown, you would put on your head. Whoever can get the treasure wins the contest, but it's on top of a very tall pole. So expect the other opponent to fight you while the two of you try to climb the pole.
Spira, no flying allowed.
Yes. Yes. That would be cheating. That kind of defeats the whole point.
Well, it may be suited for me because I can.
Tentacles.
Yeah, I have tentacles and I can grip anything really hard. So even if they try to knock me down, I think I'm able to sustain myself with my
Yeah, you're able to
tentacles.
hold your grip.
Yeah,
And you can knock others with your tentacles.
yeah, while I'm climbing.
Yeah.
Everybody starts to leave the riverbed, and the contestant who was up against Hyacinth is very reluctant to get out of the hot spring. In fact, he has to be dragged by his team to leave, where he's just like, no, let me stay in the water. You see those photos of the monkeys in Japan that sit in the hot springs? He's kind of like that. He is at peace. He may have lost, but he's at peace.
He's like, I am content.
So you guys climb back up to the dining hall and the games area. Outside of the palace area is the games area that you guys have been feasting with. And yes, you see that a new arena has been prepared. And in the center of this big circle is a pole that looks to be about 10 feet tall. And at the top of it is a golden crown. So you have to put this on your head. As Solaris and the other contestant approach, Jing Kon himself comes by and he tells you guys, okay, now I want to see a clean fight between the two of you. Whoever gets the crown first is, well, not the king because that's me, but will be the honorary king for the match only, okay? And he says, now shake on this. So the two of you, the other contestant puts out his hand in an offer to shake on it. Do you take his hand?
Yes.
Okay. As soon as you shake his hand, you feel a strange.
I knew it.
You feel a strange sensation. Give me a magic resistance roll. So in that case, I love how Ginkgo is like, give me a clean fight immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately he goes for that. You're going to have to give me a combination of your composure and stamina roll.
Okay. It's a +1. Not that
Okay.
bad, but
You feel a strange sensation and you realize immediately that he's gone and done something, but basically your arm feels a little sluggish almost, as you recall from your lessons with Arista as well as the old man who you sold the staff to. Yeah, Loktao warned you that the Sonwu have paralysis abilities. So he gave some minor
Great.
paralysis to your arm.
great. What a head start. Okay, at least I have my tentacles and suction cups. And
Jing Kon himself, however, puts his hand against the pole and immediately it starts to grow in height and grow and grow and grow.
my God.
My God.
It's what was a
Oh,
10-foot
cool.
pole is now approaching 40.
Oh,
He's
Oof.
like, that's better. Now then, I want to see the two of you go at it. Begin. He immediately gives you a smirk, knowing that he's hindered you, and he jumps up onto the pole.
my gosh.
He, being a monkey, is already like he climbs onto the pole, but the pole is increased in its circumference as well. Like its radius has increased. It's very hard to put your whole arms around it, but because he's a monkey, he's basically using his whole body to like grip. Like he's using just his pure grip strength to get up. What do you do?
Yeah, what are my options?
Your options are to attempt to climb yourself. You've also got your head tentacles do have suction cups on them, so they can be used in unique ways. You have your weapons, which haven't been denied you. The Monkey King didn't say anything about the weapons. You also have your spells. So, and you also have whatever it is that you've got in your pocket.
I don't really have any spells.
Not even your primal abilities?
Well, this is what I was thinking about. Maybe I can use, because they are really close to me, I mean the other contestants, and maybe I can use hypnosis on them and slow them down.
You can definitely give it a try. I will say this though. It will require having his attention on you. So that might be something that would require getting a little bit closer to him and getting him to look at you. But you've also got your voice, your vocal ability as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could go ahead with it. It's a big arena. So the Monkey King has already returned to his throne. So he wants to see you climb from a distance, basically. So yeah, you could use your vocal ability as well if you want.
Yeah, I'd like to try that. The projected psychosis, yes.
Similar to their primal forms, abyssals sing or hum in a melody to begin affecting their target with psychosis. Usually the physical magic of the abyssal dust is very taxing on their throat and will allow them an incredible area of effect manipulation. A truly skilled abyssal can even control the direction of their song and spare allies or prioritize certain individuals. This would take years of training, blah, blah, blah. You can damage your vocal cords. You don't have to worry about volume so much because he's right like there. So yeah, give me let's see, I want to look at your stats. Yeah, give me a manipulation, composure, resolve, and stamina. So +4.
+4. 17.
Oh my. Okay. Sorry. In any other circumstances, it would have worked. But when he rolls a nat 20.
Oh no.
Of
Yeah.
course.
So you give it a try, but you can see that this guy is locked in. He ain't got time to listen to anything. He is climbing up, but you can give it another try. I'll let you have another try when you get closer to him. Maybe when you pull on his tail or something.
Okay, so I will just concentrate on climbing for a while.
Okay.
And I will use my tentacles as well because one of my
12 plus 12 to your roll. Oh.
oh my god.
No way!
I can't do anything if it involves luck.
I didn't even have to factor in the paralysis on your arm.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
rolled a crit
So,
fail.
For everyone in the crowd, what they see is this poor abyssal like scratching at the base of the pole, making no success. Like not getting anywhere. Like every time you climb up, you just sort of keep sliding back down. The other monkey, the other Sonwu is now starting to get like quite some distance. He's already 10 foot up.
I know what I can
The
do.
dice is your enemy right now.
Luck is my enemy every
I just
time.
love I'm just gonna have that sliding down a glass sheet sound effect. That
Yeah, I imagine this scene in my head. I'm laughing so hard at this. Oh my god, what can I do? And I don't even have any kind of potions because I was thinking about making the pole slippery for them. But do I have something in my pocket that can do that? I don't think so. Yeah, maybe can I throw my daggers and use them as a kind of ladder or staircase and
Ooh,
advance?
give that a try.
And I can just try and pull out the daggers below me and throw them.
Yeah, you know what? That is
Upwards
so
again.
cool. I want to see that. Okay, so use your strength and dex, and we will use your martial prowess as well.
Okay, that's a 10. That's a 17. Watch me roll a 1 again.
We believe.
Oh, nice.
32.
32.
Okay, so yeah, rather than trying to imitate the monkey's way of climbing, you decide to make your own path. You stab the pole that was inside, and you notice that it was actually made of wood. So your daggers pierce into it quite well. And yeah, you start to make quick work as you just brute force a solution to this puzzle. As you're climbing up the wood.
Yeah, plus I have a bunch of tentacles, so
Yeah.
it can be quite effective and fast.
Yeah, he looks down at you and is just horrified by what he sees. He just sees like a whirlwind of blades and tentacles chasing up behind him. In fact, so he crit failed his composure. So he actually let go of the pole in fright at the sight of you. But
so
he rolled
scared.
a saving throw that he managed to, with the pure power of his fingertip grip strength, barely hold on. He slid down a few feet, but is already scrambling to come back up. So yeah, he dropped down a bit, but he saved himself. Yeah, give me another one of those plus 17 rolls. You hear the crowd like howling with laughter.
Oh,
Okay. So yeah, you start to make some distance on him, but he's also climbing up the pole pretty well. The two of you are about halfway now, and you can, if you were to try really hard, you could reach his ankle.
Is it allowed to yank him?
Yeah, they didn't say anything about fighting. Oh, the only thing the king said was, "I want a good clean fight," but he never explained what clean is.
Well, they just started the whole game by paralyzing my arm, so
Exactly.
I think it's fine if one of my tentacles try to grip his ankle and try to yank him.
Okay. Give me an attack roll. So strength, dexterity, and in this case, it would be head tentacle. So just plus 5.
Hand tentacles.
Yeah.
So it's 5 and strength is 3. It's a 12 plus 12.
Woohoo! What is this comedy of errors?
Okay.
Yep. You grab his ankle with one of your tentacles, and he screams in fright. He's like, "I'm scared I'm about to die!" as he's developing a phobia of all things Cthulhu. So yeah, you've got him by the ankle. What do you want to do? Just yank him down, pull him off? What do you want to do?
I'd like to try and pull him off until he releases the pole and falls down. Can I do that?
Yep.
Or would this be lethal for him?
No, you can try.
Okay, then I will try to.
So because he crit failed, I'm not even going to have to roll for this. So yeah, you pull him off of the pole. As he flies down, he tries to grab you with both hands. Now, you remember what he did the last time you made contact. So because you didn't have your aura up, because you didn't mention it, yeah, his paralysis touch is coming straight for you. So,
but I have I didn't imbue.
Your imbuement was
it was a fail. Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, you imbued your clothes, whereas your hand was bare skin. So, imbuement is into non-living objects.
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
But yeah, his hands are basically coming for you. So give me a dodge.
Dodge. What? It's just dexterity, so it's a +4. Oh my god, it's too low. Okay. Yeah, 13.
Clearly, he's the weakest member on the team.
Yeah, fortunately.
So he goes flying down. He completely fails to grab you. You can continue resuming climbing up, or you can watch him fall down to the ground.
No. I'm in the zone. I'm continuing climbing up.
Give me your +12, +17. Yeah, +17 for your climb.
I can't believe this. I'm rolling my second crit fail.
Amazing. So it's been crit fail, crit success, crit fail, crit fail, crit fail. You also start falling, but not as badly as him. So I'm going to say you dropped down a bit, but you managed to catch yourself. So you lost a couple of feet, but you're still at around the halfway mark. He, on the other hand, because while you're falling, you were looking down. He, on the other hand, before he hit the ground, he pulled out a staff of his own and started to grow it. So just before he's about to hit the ground, his staff hit the ground, and he's shooting himself upwards now. He's basically using his own pole. As he's flying up, though, you realize that he's not as skilled as the Monkey King. So after what appears to be the limits of his ability, he leaps off the top of his pole and lands just a few feet below you. You can see his face now is a mixture of rage as he's trying to hide his fear of you. He feels more safe when he knows that you're not climbing up at him, but he can get up at you, because he knows that if he can grab you, he can paralyze you. So he feels much more secure. So his emotional damage is not going to be as terrifying as you climbing up towards him. So give me another roll. Climb.
Climb. Let's see. 17, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's somewhat better. Oh, nice.
Oh my gosh.
My God.
He's the perfect enemy for me. Someone who has even worse than me.
He falls. It turns out
Unbelievable.
his newfound confidence in attacking you from behind was misplaced, as the mere sight of your tentacles as you begin resuming your climb is enough to trigger his fear.
Yeah.
This time he falls all the way to the bottom, and he's immediately trying to shrink down his pole to try and do that leap move again. You can hear the audience is howling in laughter. His team have their hands in their faces. They're screaming, "What are you doing?" What do you guys what does our team say? What do you guys say? Are you cheering? Are you cheering?
Yeah, go Sorors!
Go.
All right, give me one more roll, Solaris.
A climbing roll?
Yeah, you're about 3/4 of the way there.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, mine was still 6.
Yep, he basically just puts both hands in the air and goes, I give up! I give up! I'm not going anywhere near that thing again! As he just storms back to his team. Yeah, you make it to the top of the pole without any challenge and put on the crown.
Yeah.
He went full judge on Big Stare. Me give up, me give up.
Can I ask Spira to come up and take me down, because there's no way I'm going to climb down from here.
You don't have to worry, because Jing Kon, he leaps.
Oh, he shrinks it.
He leaps onto the top, and he slowly, not dramatically, very considerably slows the size change. So you come down as if it were on an elevator kind of thing. So you land on the floor, and he's like, ha, 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 well done, well done. That is absolutely terrifying. He says as he's looking at your tentacles and daggers. And he's like, I've never seen one of your kind before, but now I know what to watch out for. As he sort of...
You should unarm participants beforehand.
He's like, well, that was fun. He looks over at the other team, and he's like, get your act together. You see the other team. The other teams will just like have their hands in their faces, and they're like, what is happening? Well then, that was quick. In fact, no breaks. Next game. So, Centaur, Kitsune, which one of you will be facing against? I know. This is an old one. This is a classic. The stone slapping. This should help you guys out. As he looks at the other teams.
Stone slapping?
Oh, yeah. Right. It goes way back before the bad blood between us and the Ko. So the Ko are the other subspecies of the Kongs. When the Sonwu and the Ko got along, we used to have a game. Our stone skin versus their superhuman strength. We're gonna bring it back, boys! Says he shouts, and you hear the crowd roar. Have you ever seen one of those slapping contests? Now imagine that with a gorilla versus a stone monkey.
Oh my god.
I think Lil should have done that one.
Each side gets 3 slaps, and if the Sonwu uses their stone skin before you touch them, it's a game of chicken. Can you make the other person use their ability first and flinch? If they do, they lose. But they're allowed to use their stone skin the moment you make contact with them. So it's a test of skill and timing. But if a Kong can pull their hand back before making contact, and the Sonwu uses their stone skin, then it counts as the Sonwu flinching and losing. So it's a best of 3 or a best of 5, depending on how the king is feeling today. How is the king feeling today? He is feeling generous. It'll be a best of 3.
Bad.
So then, who thinks at least you're not going up against the Ko, because yeah, they've got one of their primal abilities is basically super strength. Yeah, if you were going to a slapping contest against a Ko, you probably wouldn't keep your head. However, you're up against the Sonwu,
God. Oh my god.
It's more about timing and precision. Try to make them flinch.
Like, is there any scare tactics involved as well? Can some of which of us two can scare the
Yes,
best?
you can scream. You can. A classic tactic is just before they're about to hit, they go ha to see if they can make the other one flinch. It's basically, it's very much like a schoolboys kind of game. I mean, the Sonwu are a rowdy bunch, so it's perfect for them.
Oh.
So, who wants to volunteer? I bet Hyacinth and Solaris are glad that their games are over.
Yeah, you cut out. You cut out at the right time.
It's less about strength because you can bring your hand as close. The moment your hand touches, it counts as the slap. You can wave your hand near their face and then slap. And it's all about the reaction. Can they stone skin the moment you touch?
I think maybe I should do this.
Spira, are you okay with this?
Spira is very okay with someone else doing it.
Well,
It's okay. I'll just take one for the team.
I will say it is a wise idea not to let the team medic do this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's
It's
off to
okay.
the healing
I have-
springs.
I have strength and dexterity. I'll do this.
Fintim, manipulation.
So, Nyx, remember, you have your spells and abilities also available at your disposal. So use every trick in your sleeve. Remember, you've got your one-tail ability as well, and you could pull that at the last second to surprise the other.
I'm thinking about using that eventually.
Mhm. You've got a lot of options, and you also have your very special sword. But using a sword in a slapping game seems maybe a little bit rude. Now that I think about it.
I shall slap you with my sword.
Well, that would certainly put them on edge. Like, don't mess this up. All right. Jing Kon calls over the team that has been on the 2 losing streak. And you can see that they are already getting a little bit scared by the expression they see on the king's face. And you guys can get the sense that he's actually now trying to help his side because you guys have completely dominated all of the games. So that's why he overlooked the underhanded tactics of the person who competed against Solaris. And he's just like, come on, guys, we need a win. Come on, guys. Come on. So
Uh-oh.
the biggest member of their group struts forward. He's
Oh,
so
fun.
bulky and muscular that you could have easily mistaken him for a himself. The assistants for the match do bring out a little step ladder for you to stand on so you can be face to face for this game. He's a very big Sonwu. We'll just say that his biceps are probably as big as your head.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Good
Good
luck.
thing I
Good
did
luck.
it.
Yep.
Oh.
Just as a heads up, there's one more thing I should probably have included earlier, but you are allowed to dodge the slap. So if the slap,
Okay.
so if his hand passes through where your head is supposed to be, and that means that it was a slap that was going to make contact and it doesn't, it means that you dodged it. So that would make it your win. You can either make it flinch or dodge. That's the way the game works. So yeah, you can pull your head back or forward when you think that the slap is the actual slap, not the fake out slap.
But if you
Ooh.
dodge a slap that wasn't coming, then
Then it counts as a fake out. So basically, if you chicken out too early by dodging or stone skinning, then that's how traditionally it works. If you chicken out too early, it counts as your loss. But if you time your skin with the slap, if you time the stone skin with the slap, or you dodge with the true slap, then it counts as your win because you predicted your opponent. I'm going to be
This is a
making,
speed game.
yeah, I'm going to be making Nick's roll reaction, perception, reaction, intelligence, a combination of things going on here in order to determine which is the real slap. All right.
true slap sounds like a legendary move.
The true slap.
The true slap.
Nyx, you stare eye to eye and he is unblinking. Give me a resolve roll because he's trying to intimidate you now.
Oh my god, that's -1.
Okay. Yeah, he is unblinking and you feel a little bit shaken, but not as much as you thought it would be. You realize that this is not a game about strength, it's a game about wits. It's similar to rock, paper, scissors, but just slightly more violent. just a tad.
Slightly.
Just so slightly.
Slightly.
Yeah, slightly.
So,
So,
a tiny bit.
so then, who wants to be the first slapper and who wants to be the first slapped? You, the two of you are still locked eyes, and he spits on the floor and says, "They can have the first shot."
And then I immediately go for the slap.
Yes, 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 give me.
You gotta go.
Give me that. Okay, give me that strength and dexterity. Plus, I'm going to factor in your clever wit there as well. Yeah, add your wit as well. Screw it. Strength, dex, and wit. That was genius. Go for it.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god. No. I needed that 17.
You hear a loud crack as you slap across his face, and the whole crowd just goes quiet. Even the Monkey King is a bit shocked. Like, even for once, Monkey King is actually at a loss for words, and he's like, huh? And how do you guys react? You can burst into cheering, or you can stay quiet. How do you guys react?
Quiet. I'm shocked quiet.
Yeah, me too.
After a brief moment of pause, you hear a small voice from near the king's throne. Hifa goes, yeah! Which causes the rest of the crowd to also start cheering. Your hand feels like you just punched a stone. You're just like, oh. You also notice that there is barely a red tinge to his face. And you notice that when you slapped him, he didn't even blink.
Oh my god.
However, you notice that his expression has changed ever so slightly. You hear a popping sound of his knuckles just as his two hands are separated from side to side. So he's popping his knuckles just from tightening his fists. All right. Let's start.
I got the first slap in.
Yep, that's 1 point. So it's the first to 2. It's the first to 2 because the king was being nice. Okay, he looks at you and you look at him. Give me a composure roll.
2.
Okay. His eyes twitch for a little bit, which immediately puts you on edge as you think that, he's finally starting to move. However, he doesn't, and he's holding out. He is fully locked in, and he is trying to psych you out. All of a sudden, he lifts one arm, and you realize that he's just trying to gauge how you're reacting. And he puts his arm back down, and he lifts the other arm and scratches the back of his head.
Oh my god.
And he hasn't taken his eyes off of you. He hasn't even blinked yet since you slapped him. And he's looking at you. Give me a perception check. So, skills.
Perception. +5.
I should be changing the music for this. Okay. Whew, okay. So, lucky for you, this happened.
Okay.
What ends up happening is that he immediately took a swing at you, not a slap, but a punch. However, moments before it was about an inch away from your face, he used Stone Skin himself to stop the punch, hoping to psych you out. But you, fortunately, didn't even realize what he was trying to do.
Okay.
So you hold a place, but you had a strange sensation as if time had slowed down, and it was as if you were about to die.
Fun.
You saw your life left before your eyes.
Basically. You saw your parents, you saw Jiro, you saw...
Jiro!
But then you realize that the game is still going on, so you resume your concentration. As he runs a little bit that his trick didn't work. Give me a dodge roll.
Oh my god. That's +6 dexterity, right?
Yes. Yeah, acrobatics plus dexterity.
Oh god.
As soon as he undoes his stone skin, he flicks out a finger and flicks you on the temple, which gave him a point.
Oh my god.
He's powerful, but also cunning. He doesn't have to kill you to win, but he basically went for an advanced play where he stops himself from a punch that normally would be impossible to stop, and then uses the most unexpected attack to immediately go close the distance. So basically, he's a master at this game. All right.
Oh my gosh.
So that's 1 point each. So you either have to land this hit or you have to dodge the next one. Your turn. What is your strategy here, Nyx? What are you going to do? It's 1 point each. You can realize that this guy is not just strong, but he's also clever.
Okay. So I'll raise my hand.
Okay.
And then I put it back down.
Yeah, he's not looking. He's observing your hand in his peripheral vision. But what he's really doing is he's looking into your eyes to see if your eyes are going to give away your true intentions. When you do decide to make your move, I'm going to ask you to also give a manipulation and composure roll to just to mask your intentions from your expression.
Okay. I know what I really want to do.
Okay.
I want to, like, when I do eventually go for the slap, I want to transform.
Okay. So you need to,
him.
in that case, you will need to put one hand behind your back so that he doesn't realize you're going to be using your Kitsune Jutsu.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so the two of you are still staring at each other. Again, the dude only blinked after he secured the victory from you. You notice that his eyes are, he's still locked in, but he must be getting some terrible dry eye. However, he does not want to lose this.
Can I give him a smile?
Yes, you can.
And then go to scratch my ear.
Okay, give me an intimidation. So, do you have intimidation as a skill? No, you don't. So it'll just be charisma and manipulation. So
Okay.
just +1.
Just +1.
No way! Come on! Come on, give me a 20, give me a 20, give me a... No!
It's a smile. Just a smile and an ear scratch.
He flares his nostrils and lets out a bit of a chuckle where he's like...
Just a cheeky little smile.
You can see he's trying to concentrate, but yeah, you have messed up his concentration a little bit where... Meanwhile, the entire crowd is hollering for some action, where you hear the Sonwu in the distance screaming, come on, hit him, come on. And you just give him that smile. The two of you are locked in. Even though it's a huge amount of noise, all you can hear is like the expression of each other. Okay. When you...
I just stretch a bit.
Okay. He also clicks his neck a little bit while you're doing this, because he's not gonna fall for these games either. He clicks his neck. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just stretching. No, moving my arms back and forth.
Okay.
Okay. I think, like, after that last stretch where I put my arms behind me for a second,
Yes.
I think I should go for the actual attack now.
Okay, so first off, we're gonna go with your transform abilities roll, followed by your attack roll. First up, use your composure and resolve to cast the spell. Don't worry too much. This is a very easy one, so you would have to roll really badly to fumble this. Yep, easily done. Okay, so as soon as you finish making the hand seal behind your back, you create a small puff of smoke. That is the transformation of the spirits around your body. He immediately, well, yeah, as the smoke blocks the vision between the two of you, you get the impression that you can feel him tense up, but this is already like a split second before your slap is coming in. So what do you want to do? Do you want to wait for the smoke to clear or slap him with the smoke?
I should take advantage of the smoke.
But at the same time, he's also expecting something with the smoke.
He's expecting it. I think I should wait till the smoke disappears.
You could do a fake out where you pull your hand back at the last second to see if you'd stone skin or dodge.
You know what? Yes, let's do a fake out right now.
Okay, give me an attack. If you crit fail, it will be an official attack. But yeah, other than that, it'll be a fake out. So you have a 5% chance of messing this up.
Come on.
Cool. You perform the fake out. Oh, he just barely holds. Like the moment
God.
Yeah, he barely holds point. However, as the smoke clears, his eyes widen when he stares straight back at you, at himself with your guys, and he's like, I'm not that fat. And do you attack him?
Get him!
Do you want to do the official attack now? Or do you want to do another fake out?
I want to flick his cheek.
Oh, cheeky. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, give me the attack roll. It'll be a full attack this time, so plus your strength and dexterity. Ooh, very nice. It works. It works. I really wanted to go to round 3, but it works. You notice his expression, which was so serious and intimidating before, is a bit. You realize he's not upset about losing. He's more upset about the fact that you turned into him, and he's just like, "Is that really what I look like?"
Oh no, you have the
Psychological
issues.
warfare.
Wow. Yeah.
Let's go.
He stumbles back towards his team a bit shell-shocked and is like, and you can hear his team howling in frustration. Jing Kon is like, and we have a winner! We also have a new Janitor Force! And the other Sorors start laughing as the 3 defeated team members realize that they're going to be on janitorial duty for a while now.
Oh my god.
Well then, one more game to go, and it's gonna have to be the Centaur. Oh, yeah, this is an original. This is my own original game. Never been played before. You see the other teams are also looking at each other, being like, what is the king up to now? He's like,
Oh, what is this?
the remaining contestants come up. You see the last remaining team member. He's already looks like his spirit has been crushed because he's just like, what's the point? They're already 3. They've already got 3 wins.
Yeah.
But he's just like, well, it's for the king's entertainment. So, okay, he stands up. Spira, are you ready?
I
Spira?
think so.
Okay. Jing Kon jumps down and he's like, here, put these on. He hands you 2 headbands and the 2 of you put them on. However, he's like, no, over your eyes.
Oh.
So the 2 of you are blindfolded. And he's like, I will now explain the rules. All right. And he claps his 2 hands and you see a small team of other Sonwu come out and start bringing out a whole bunch of obstacles and stuff onto the field that Nyx and Solaris had done their contests in. And in a very short amount of time, now, Spira, you won't realize this, but you can hear a lot of activity happening around you. For the rest of you watching, and I'll let Spira overhear this as well. A makeshift maze has been created, along with a few like harmless traps. They're non-lethal traps, but they are various things like banana peels and like tripping stones and like head-sized ropes that are at your neck level. Fish line. Washing line. That's it. Washing line level ropes. It's an obstacle course. And he goes, and I want to see you guys. The first one to exit the obstacle course wins. Yeah, you got to navigate this blindfolded.
That's evil.
All right, and anything goes. If you knock out your opponent, that counts as a win too. So yeah, your opponent might come after you, or you might just stumble through this obstacle course to get out.
I have an idea, but I'm not gonna say it.
You can shout it from the benches.
I have a
No,
but-
because
ideas
my
as
character's
well.
not that smart.
Spira, what is your plan? You are blindfolded at the same pole. Like you start in the center where Solaris had their pole climbing contest. However, from what you understand, from what you heard, is that it's not as simple as walking forward and straight out. You realize that there's like little miniature walls being put up and you got to try and figure out how to get out. What are you going to do?
I'm gonna the plan right now is Primal Soul to get as many pieces of soul out as I can, and then spirit sense.
Oh, clever. You're going to use the summons to guide your way out. Oh, okay, this can work. Okay, so then give me a primal soul roll, which is quite easy if I remember correctly. The difficulty is very low. The spirit cost is high, but the conductivity cost is very low. So yes, give me a roll, anything but a crit fail. Yep, that does that does the trick. It's not an army, but you do summon like one primal soul. You notice that because this is the first time you've ever done this ability while blindfolded, but through the blindfold you can actually see its form as if it was made up of spirits. So you can actually see your soul outside of your body. It looks as if it takes the shape of a horse, but you can definitely there's a shimmering, glittering effect, as if there was 1,000 microscopic pieces of snow drifting inside the silhouette of a horse. So through the blindfold, you can actually see where it is.
So cool.
So you don't even need spirit sense for this one because it's actually part of you. But at the same time, it's an extension of your primal form. So it has the senses of the primal form. So yeah, it can see and understand what it is that you want it to do. Like, you don't have to give it verbal instructions. It understands in your heart what it is that you need it to do, and it will simply guide you. I wasn't expecting the one person who had the easiest hacks for this contest to be the person who went for it at the end.
All these challenges was like made for us.
The only one I had it made for was Hyacinth.
Yeah!
I wanted to bring back something nostalgic for them. Still, this is a fantastic use of your skill sets and abilities and magics and everything. However, okay. So yeah, you still can't see anything, but you see your primal soul guiding you. So yeah, you can simply follow behind it, and it will warn you when you're near an obstacle. Like, it will point at an obstacle and such like that. You hear the crowd around you booing, though. They're like, whoa! Sorry, you wanted to say something?
But we are cheering you even more louder.
Okay.
Even Hyacinth's a little like, oh, this is kind of cheating.
However, give me a dodge roll. Because a Sonwu's foot is coming at the back of your head.
Okay, so dexterity and acrobatics.
Yes. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Okay. So at the last second, you feel the shape of something touching the back of your hair, but you manage to pull your head back at the last second. You feel something rush past you, and it smells like a monkey. The other contestant is trying to take you out rather than deal with the risk of trying to navigate this maze blindfolded. He feels like he has a better chance just finding you before you get too far away from him and taking you down. So you hear a as he misses you, and he lands on all fours in front of you. Your primal soul rears on its back legs, and with its front two legs, it tries to stomp down on top of the opponent. You hear the crowd going as he does his dodge roll. Give me you know what, give me an attack roll for your primal soul. Let's play this as if it's two of you. So yeah, give me a dexterity plus strength roll. I don't believe this. Look at this.
What?
19, 7. Oh my god. Both of them matched. You've matched each other twice now. Your primal soul stamps down. You don't know if it hit, but you heard the crowd go. He rolls to the side and leaps at you again. However, you hear the sound of him kicking off. So what is it you want to do? Do you want to try and hit him midair, or do you want to dodge? Or you've got other spells as well at your disposal. You also have your aura, which none of you have activated, which probably could have helped Nyx in the previous round.
I should have activated it. Not gonna lie. It's okay.
You didn't even need it.
Exactly.
Well, I just brute force mine, so
But if I activate can I activate? No, I can only do dodge or activate the aura.
Yeah, only one.
I'm gonna activate the aura because I feel like I'm gonna need it.
Okay, give me a resolve and composure. So spellcast roll. Nice. Yep, you get your aura up just in time. You feel something like a fist connecting with your aura, and you hear as he like flings back. It's your turn now. You know exactly where it is. You can counterattack or you can escape, whichever. You've got an option here. You can either fight or you can try and navigate through the maze.
I feel like I want to fight him, but I'm not sure what to fight him with.
Yeah, you are blindfolded and you don't have your bow and arrow. Well, I mean, you do have your bow and arrow, but is it really a good idea to shoot someone while blindfolded with a crowd of people around?
Probably a bit dangerous.
Just a bit.
Oh my god.
I'm
Imagine
thinking
you
if I
actually
can
hit the
use. Yeah, well, that would be bad. He's probably good enough to dodge it though. But I'm thinking if I can use Gale Touch to slop him over.
Give me an intelligence roll.
It's a feeling like they are pretty heavy.
Yeah, you realize that has the potential to help push him out of the maze, which would not end well.
Yeah, probably not edible. My primal soul is gonna bonk him in the head.
Okay. Give me an attack with your primal soul. So strength dex. I will factor in a buff since it is it can see, even if you can't see what it sees. Oh my goodness.
Ooh.
nice.
Oh.
Yep. You, because again, it is you to a certain degree. So you feel it connect with him. You also hear everyone in the crowd going, ooh. For everyone else sitting in the crowd, you see the hooves of the primal soul dig into his shoulder blades as it hits him from behind because he tried to punch. He tried to punch Spira, and then the primal soul was just like, don't forget about me. Yeah, he.
My Little Pony.
Yeah, he lands face first in the dirt. However, he does a sweeping attack to try and sweep Spira off her feet. You do not see this coming, but I will still give you a dodge roll on the off chance that you roll really high. This is going to be a very hard one to dodge.
Okay.
I'm
so
good. Yeah.
just Straight D20, or do I add acrobatics?
Add acrobatics. Add acrobatics, but it's going to be very hard because this guy is a fighter.
Dexterity or
Let's see how Lady Luck
Dexterity
treats us
plus
today.
acrobatics. Yep.
Oh!
Lady Luck was happy today.
Lady Luck loves us today. Apparently, well, not.
Well,
No.
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
Not Sorors.
That's Dolores, unfortunately.
So what ends up happening is you jump up as he kick sweep. You basically land with 2 feet on top of the back of his head, kicking off of the back of his head, pushing his face into the dirt as you jump through the air and land on top of your primal soul, which you can now give an order to either take you through the maze or to finish him off.
Oh my god.
I feel like the crowd would want to watch me finish him off.
All right. In that case,
I definitely.
in that case,
Yeah.
I will give you a special bonus here. You and your primal soul will do a synchronized attack together because it's technically you attacking, just 2 versions of you. So, yeah, the primal soul is going to do a backwards kick against him. And how would you like to attack him? Punch or kick?
There is this move in acrobatic horse riding. I don't know what it's called in English. Voltige, probably. Where you just hold on to the horse and you stomp down with both of your feet and then you pop onto the horse again. I want to do that.
Oh,
Okay.
that's so cool.
Yeah, basically, normally the horse is galloping, but now we're gonna do standing still, which is gonna be way more difficult for me to actually get on the horse again, because normally you use the bounciness on the canter to jump up again.
You've got wings.
I know. Okay, fine. I've got wings. Wait, I think normally you can stand up on the horse and then just jump down, but normally they hold on to something. Now I'm just gonna hold on to the mane with my hands and then swing my legs over the back, stamp down on the ground, and then bounce back up.
Yep. Your Pegasus has wings as well, so you can use that to sweep you back up as well. So yeah, your Primal Soul also has wings, I just realized. So yeah, you can jump off of the back of your Primal Soul, crash onto him, get swept up by the wings, and then your Primal Soul will finish it off with a backwards kick. You already stomped on his head once with the first jump. Now you're doing it a second time. The disrespect. Fine, give me a strength and dex attack. Give me an attack. I will factor in the buff for the crit success of the previous roll. When you do the double jump stop, he hears you coming and he activates his stone skin, which blocks your double stomp. You still jump off of him, a little bit frustrated that he was able to stop your attack. However, just as he removes his stone skin, your Primal Soul follows up with a kick to the gut. Basically sending him flying straight into the pole that Solaris was climbing earlier. Like, you hear the thud against the wood, the dunk gonk as he hits it. The crowd roars. Yeah, he doesn't stand up again. He's knocked out. You completely winded him, and the crowd cheers. Yeah, Jing Kon is like, congratulations, you didn't even bother with the mace. He's just like, I am sensing
Why do we even have the mace?
Exactly. I am sensing a pattern here. And he's like, well. The 4 of you, 4 victories. 5 if you include the first game. Oh. Well, since you like brawling so much. And he jumps off of his stone throne. As he lands into the arena with you guys, he gestures to the 3 of you still in the crowd. And he's like, come here. Hyacinth, Nyx, and Solaris. And he's like, well, again, since you guys enjoy fighting so much, the final game will be against me.
Oh no.
As he draws his staff.
No.
And that's where we're going to leave it for tonight.
Bye.
The next episode should be right here. Thanks for watching.